All right, Shalom. This is your brother Shamar from Phoenix. With that being said, I want to give our honor, glory, and praise to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders of Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to the brothers doing this work in truth and sincerity. Now, real quick, I want to get into how we are going to be judged by our works, man. So we're gonna be judged. There's gonna be judgment for everybody. There's gonna be judgment for the 2/3. There's gonna be judgment for the Edomites, and there's gonna be judgment for the men of the Lord, man. The men of the Lord are gonna be judged by their works, by the works that we do at this present day and age, man. Because this is the work that we were commanded to go do. This is the work that we were given to do, and we're gonna be judged how we did those works. With that, I'm going to get Matthew 16 and 27. It says, "For the Son of Man shall come in the glory of his Father with his angels, and then he shall reward every man according to his works." So we've been given a work to do, and we're going to be judged according to our works. Whether they be done in righteousness and sincerity, or or those that didn't do the work that they were called in order to do. We're going to be judged by that, man. But the so-called Christian church, they teach otherwise. They say that you don't need works. They say all you need is faith. That's contrary to the scriptures. That's not what the scriptures say. The scriptures say that because the Christian churches, they teach it. All you gotta do is say the magic words and abracadabra. You got a place in the kingdom. But that's not what the scriptures say, man. With that, I'm gonna get James 2 and 20. This is James 2 and 20, and it says, "But wilt thou know, O vain man, that faith without works is dead," man. So that's what the scripture plainly say right there. That faith without works, just believing without backing that up was action. Backing that up was integrity. Because so that's what integrity and action go hand in hand. Because if you have integrity, if you have a faith and you have integrity in that faith, then you're gonna do works, man. Plain and simple. So what does the scripture say, man? I'm gonna read that back again. It says, it says, "But wilt thou know, O vain man, that faith without works is dead." Okay, so faith without works is dead. But I'm gonna jump down to 26. It says, "For as a body without the spirit is dead, so faith without works is dead also." So as a body without the spirit, man. So a body without the spirit, what? Just lifeless. So in order to give your faith life, in order to give your faith a presence, to give your faith action, you need works, man, to go along with that faith. You know? With that, I'm gonna get I'll jump up to 14. It says, "What does it profit, my brethren, though a man say he has faith and have not works? Can faith save him?" So just saying the magic words, just saying that you believe, is not gonna save you, man. You need to have works. And those works need to endure into the end. What does the scripture say? He said, roughly paraphrasing, even the devils believe. You know, so we're gonna be judged by our works, man, and our faith. But our faith is given to us by the Most High, and our works is what we are commanded and what we are told to do. With that, I want to get Micah 6 and 18. This is Micah 6 and 8. No, 6 and 8. Slakia. Micah 6 and 8. He said, He has showed thee, O man, what is good, and what does the Lord require of thee, but to do justly, and to love mercy, and to walk humbly with thy power. So this is what we're required to do. And we're required to do justly, to have integrity, to love mercy, to be compassionate one towards another, to walk humbly with our power, man. And when you're humble, what do? You submit yourself to the will of the YAHAWASHI. That's what humbleness is. Submitting yourself. Submitting yourself to the will of the Lord, man. Submitting yourself to the things that you've been called to do. And that goes along with works. With that, I want to get 1 Samuel 15 and 22. This is 1 Samuel 15:22, and it says, and Samuel said, "Has the Lord as great delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices as in obeying the voice of the Lord?" So So obedience, doing what we're told to do, is preferred over sacrifice. That, going through the ritual of having faith, because that's what they were doing back in the ancient days. They had no integrity. They just knew that, well, okay, I'm just gonna sacrifice a lamb for my sins, and then they'll go sin. There was no integrity behind those sacrifices. There was no obedience behind those sacrifices. They were doing that out of tradition. They were doing it out of ritual. Let me read that back. And Samuel said, "Has the Lord as great delight in burnt offerings and the sacrifices as in obeying the voice of the Most High? Behold, to obey is better than sacrifice, and to hearken in the fat of rams." So back in those days, man, they were just sacrificing for the sake of sacrificing. There was no works behind it, man. There was no integrity behind the ritual of sacrifice. The Lord demanded obedience and sacrifice. The Lord demanded faith. The Lord demanded that you do His will, that you obey and you listen and sacrifice, man. That's why it says right here, "For rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft." So rebellion, not doing what you're supposed to be doing, not doing what you've been called to do, not having the integrity to do those things that are required of you, is at the sin of witchcraft. Because why? Because you're going against the orders. You always got to remember that this is the Lord's army, man. That's why they call him the Lord of Hosts. He's giving us orders, and He's giving us regulations and guidelines on how to conduct ourselves, how to walk uprightly, man. That's why we go back to Micah 6:8. What does the Lord require of thee? To do justly, to have integrity. You know, and if you're not, then you're not doing that to have sincerity. If you're not doing that, then you're rebelling against what the Lord requires of you, and that's the sin of witchcraft. And stubbornness is iniquity and idolatry. And what's stubbornness, man? Refusing to do something, not wanting to do something, wanting to do your own thing. Because thou hast rejected the word of the Lord, He has also rejected thee from being king. And how does rebellion and stubbornness coincide with rejecting the word of the Lord? Because the word of the Lord was commanded that you act in a certain way. And to act contrary to that is rebellion, witchcraft, and stubbornness. And that just showed you how demanding the Lord is, man. Because this truth is a gift, and you can't you can't take it for granted. That's why the scripture says, give not roughly paraphrasing, give not your pearls unto swine, man. It is a pearl. It's a pearl of great price, man. It's a truth. It's something to be treasured and revered. With that, I want to get 1 Corinthians 13:2. This is 1 Corinthians 13:2, and it says, "And though I have the gift of prophecy and understanding all mysteries and all knowledge and thought, I have faith, so I can rule mountains, and have not charity, I am nothing." That charity is going along with one of our works that we need to do. That charity is having that brotherly love one towards another, having that sincerity. So you can know all these things, and you can have faith that could move, so that I could remove mountains and have not charity. If you can't back that up with sincerity, with love, then it doesn't matter. Just like if you can't back up your faith with works, it doesn't matter, man. Faith without works is what? Dead. So you always gotta back up your words. You always with actions. You always gotta back up what you do with action. You always gotta set an example for yourself first and foremost, so you can be an example to the other brothers, man. So you can help other brothers, because ultimately, uh, we're in this thing. The Lord joined us all together through the Spirit to work together, man. To be a body, and all parts of the body gotta be in one accord, to work and function properly, man. They all have to work, so we all have to work. We all have to do the things that are required of us, and encourage each other, and help each other to do the things that are required of us. And with that, I want to get Matthew 5:22. This is Matthew 5 and 22. And it says, But I say unto you that whosoever is angry with his brother without a cause shall be in danger of judgment. And whosoever shall say to his brother, Raka, shall be in danger of counsel. But whosoever shall say, Thou fool, shall be in danger of hell fire. So if you don't have that charity, if you don't have that brotherhood, you know, then you're going off, man. You gotta back up your works and your faith and your shalom and all the things that we say and your kanak and everything we do. We gotta back it up with love. You gotta sincerely mean it, man. You got to sincerely mean the things that we say, and we got to back these things up with action. And with that, I'm gonna get Ecclesiastes 12 and 13, because this is our duty. This is our duty to do these things, to walk according to the way the Lord wants us to do. If you call yourself a man of the Lord, then you have to be in a certain mind state and have a certain mentality. This Ecclesiastes 12 and 13, it says, "There is here the conclusion of the whole matter. For fear Yahawah and keep His commandments, and the commandments is to do that. One of His commandments is to do that work, to back up our faith with work. For this is the whole duty of man." So we know a duty is what? A duty is something that you were assigned to do. I'm going to get a definition for that real quick. This is the definition of the word duty. It says a moral or legal obligation, a responsibility. And that's exactly what it is, man. The work that we've been called to do, the Lord allowed us to participate in. It's a moral and legal obligation, because we made a vow unto the Lord. When you put your hand onto the plow and you started doing the work, you made a vow unto the Lord. You made an obligation unto the Lord, because obligation is just another word for vow. A moral or legal obligation, a responsibility. It is my duty to uphold the law. I'll go down to the second definition. I'll read the synonyms: responsibility, obligation, commitment, obedience, allegiance, loyalty, faithfulness, fidelity, respect, deference, reverence, homage. So reverence, man. I'm going to go down to the second definition: a task or action that someone is required to perform. So that's work. So this is our work. This is our duty. The whole duty of man is to what? To fear the Most High and keep His commandments. Going back to Ecclesiastes. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear Yahawah and keep His commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. And that was just a real quick lesson. Most High willing, the hope was edifying. We got the men of the Lord in these last days are going to be called to be in that mind state of action, man, to backing up to what we do and what we profess to believe and what we profess to say we are was action, man. So that's why the Lord's doing the things that He's doing, because our faith is going to be tested. So we know that our faith is going to be tested. So us knowing that, then we have to take steps to build up our faith. We know that our works are going to be judged. So us knowing that, we gotta take steps to ensure that we have those works backed up with sincerity. We have that faith backed up with works. The scriptures plainly say and plainly tell you what's going to happen, man. And we read these scriptures and we prophesy the scriptures and we bring them on the highways and hedges. We gotta be doers and hearers. With that being said, like I said, man, I hope the lesson was edifying. That one say Barakatah Yahawah, Barakatah Yahawashai, Barakatah Yahawah, Barakatah Yahawashai, Barakatah Yahawah, Barakatah Yahawashai. Shalom.